Hello, it's Kev on the channel that makes you a real estate expert, and today I'm going to teach you all 6 phases of the home buying process so that you'll know what the entire process will look like before you start. Now, the 6 phases of the home buying process are prepare, search, offer, finance, due diligence, and close. Straight into it with phase number 1, and that is the preparing stage. Now, in the preparation phase of the home buying life cycle, you'll want to do 3 things. The first one is to identify and hire the person who will represent your interest as you go through the home buying process. In other words, hire a buyer's agent. First thing you need to know is that it doesn't cost you anything, and I'll link a video right here for you to watch a video that explains how to hire a buyer's agent and exactly how your buyer's agent gets paid. The second thing that you'll want to do is to secure your mortgage pre-approval. The reason that this is the second step of this process, of the preparation process, is because what you don't want to do is to find the house that you want to buy and not understand exactly what your mortgage payments would look like or whether or not you're even qualified. And the last step to the preparation process is to define your buying criteria. A good question that I have my clients ask themselves is, what is my vision for my life over the next 3 to 7 years? A lot of people think that purchasing a home is this massive 30-year commitment, and it is a big commitment. I won't downplay that, but it's not as long-term as most people think it is. Try to think, what do I want my life to look like over the next 3 to 7 years as it relates to my housing? This will help you answer a lot of questions that will help define your buying criteria. Or in other words, figure out what it is that we're really looking for. The next phase of the home buying life cycle is the searching phase. The searching phase is probably also the most fun part of the home buying process. This is when we are searching for houses, so you're working with your agent to help you find houses. Now keep in mind that in this day and age, there's almost as much information available to the consumer in terms of active inventory or available inventory that there is to agents. So this is a collaborative effort, but you're working with your agent to find new homes on the market and scheduling times to go and look at these houses. Now, you're going and looking at these houses in an effort to narrow down or weed out the houses that aren't going to be a good fit for you and narrow it down to the houses that are really viable options. Now, you're going through this process of searching for homes and touring the homes in person in an effort to get to the part of the home buying life cycle where it's time to make a decision. And that leads us into the third phase of the home buying life cycle, which is to structure an offer. Now, in the offer phase of the home buying life cycle, this is where you begin to tactically start making decisions on how you want to position yourself to give yourself the best chance of getting the house. Lean on your agent to give you great advice on all of the different terms that will give you a competitive advantage and give you the highest likelihood of the seller selecting your offer. Once you've structured and presented your offer, typically there'll be a negotiation between you and the seller until you reach a final agreement that everybody's happy with. Once everybody's agreed to the terms, you'll finalize the contract, chase signatures, and send the contract into the lender and to the title company to begin the next steps and to begin preparing the settlement. The fourth phase of the home buying life cycle is the financing phase. The first thing that you'll need to do as you begin the financing phase of the life cycle is to call your lender and let them know that you've reached an agreement with the seller to purchase a home, and you need to schedule a time to meet with them to actually do your loan application. The second thing that you'll do in the financing phase of the life cycle is to deliver your earnest money deposit, generally to the title company that is going to prepare the settlement. The earnest money deposit is just a deposit showing good faith to the seller. The last thing that you want to do is to call your homeowner insurance carrier and let them know that you are in the process of purchasing a home and you need a quote for homeowner insurance on the new house. After this, you'll be in the fifth stage of the home buying life cycle, and that is the due diligence stage of the life cycle. The first thing that you'll do in the due diligence stage of the home buying life cycle is to conduct a home inspection. Now, this is another great time to lean on your agent to put you in touch with a good, reputable professional home inspector to do a physical inspection of the home to make sure that there's no unforeseen major material defects with the property. The next thing that you'll want to do is to let your lender know after you've done your inspection and you know that you're satisfied with the inspection to go ahead and order the appraisal. The appraiser's job is to simply come and take a look at the house and do a comparative market analysis to make sure that the property is worth what you agreed to pay for it. The next thing that you'll want to do is just to confirm with the title company and generally with your agent that there's no title issues or anything that's going to get in the way of you being able to take full ownership of the property at closing. And that brings us to the sixth and final step of the home buying life cycle, and that is the closing phase. The first step of the closing phase is to schedule with all parties, including the title company, the lender, the listing agent or the seller's representative, the buyer's agent, in other words, your agent, and yourself to find a time and day that works good for all parties to meet at the title company to close. Next, you'll want to coordinate things like utility transfer, let your insurance company know the date of closing so that they can start the insurance policy, work out, make sure that you're able to take occupancy, and if so, what day you're able to take occupancy after closing, and so on. And the very last step is to simply attend the closing. Now, in most cases, you're going to want to make sure that you have your driver's license and that everyone who's on the mortgage or going to be deeded ownership is going to be there. Generally, this will take about an hour for both the buyer and the seller to close because they both have different documents to sign. But usually this is quite painless and really an exciting day. So there you have it. Those are the 6 phases of the home buying life cycle. Pretty much everything that you need to know as it relates to the actual process to purchase a home. Now keep in mind that there's always going to be uphill battles and different headwinds, and everybody's home buying process can sometimes look a little bit different, but generally speaking, this is the home buying process. Another thing that's important to understand is that the home buying process is a sequence, meaning that it has a specific order. What you don't want to do is start looking for houses before you've gotten a pre-approval and so on. If you start doing these things out of order, it can generally lead to heartache. And if you follow me, you know that my number one tip if you're looking to purchase a home is to know the entire process before you start so that you can avoid making the common mistakes that a lot of, especially first-time home buyers, have a tendency to make. So if you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.